Good evening everyone, welcome to Dragon Force Racing League's race 9 of season 9 and 2/3 of the way through the season now, and we find ourselves in the land down under and in Australia for the Australian Grand Prix this evening. Short qualifying of 18 minutes followed by 29 laps, which is 50% of the actual race distance to be hosted this evening. Just waiting on a few of the drivers to jump into the lobby and get ready ahead of tonight's race. So we'll quickly run through the driver standings so far. Obviously 2/3 of the season has passed us, 8 races down with 4 to go, including the race tonight, and we'll end in just 4 more weeks time to conclude this season. Looking at the driver standings then, Jimmy at the top on 98 points and 2 wins to his name as a reserve driver for the season. In second place at the minute, just 3 points behind on 95 is Don Arjun in the Alfa Romeo. Just can't actually see either of those drive. Oh, we've got Jimmy in this evening. I can't see Don Arjun at the minute, so hopefully he'll join in sooner than later. And in third place on 77 points, so quite a way back from the leaders at the minute, is I Am Zach on 2 wins for the season as well. In terms of the constructors then, so taking the top spot at the minute is Alfa Romeo on 170 points and 4 wins to the team's name at this moment in time. Second place Mercedes on 144 and 2 wins, so quite a bit of work to do there for Mercedes. 36 points behind there, so got some 26 points behind Alfa Romeo as a team there, so quite some work to do in the season. Ferrari on 112 points in third place, Williams on 84 and AlphaTauri on 82 in fifth. A little bit of a battle going there for Williams and AlphaTauri. Red Bull in 6th on 72 points, Aston Martin in 7th on 60, Alpine on 39 in 8th, Haas on 28 in 9th place, and McLaren at the bottom of the table on just 15 points at this moment in time. Some very valuable points added to the McLaren's tally last week out. Prior to that, only 7 points on the board, so they have more than doubled in the last race. So certainly making inroads to the Haas team there ahead in the standings for this moment in time. Hopefully we'll have a good race this evening. Just waiting on going through to the start of this qualifying session, and away we go. There we go then. So we'll just give everyone a minute to pop their desired setup onto the cars, and we'll try and jump on board with the first driver out for this particular session. Now, the Australian circuit, as shown, is the conventional circuit we are all used to. However, there was a slight track change, and the track you will see this coming 2022 season has been slightly altered to the track you'll see on board this evening, as looks like Jimmy is going to be the first driver out there. So we'll sit on board. The Ferrari just about pipped him, so we'll jump onto the Ferrari. Is it your boy Bizen? It certainly is. Heading out first of all on track. We'll stay with whichever car takes the lead of the initial lap, as they'll get to set the initial pace for this evening's session. And so Jimmy actually going to take the lead on this lap as we head around this Melbourne circuit. Absolutely lovely circuit and quite a classic. Now, we are quite used to Melbourne hosting the first round of the season. However, as many are aware, it is now pushed on back through the season, and Bahrain will yet again start the season off for the 2022 season, coming up in around 8 weeks time now, so time ticking pretty quick to that, and we've got winter testing coming up very soon as well. Along with that, I believe we've also got the release of the Aston Martin 2022 car, going to be the first that is scheduled on the 10th of February, so something for everyone to look forward to, all those Formula 1 fans. Okay then, riding on board with Jimmy, your current driver's standings leader on 98 points, and we exit the final corner onto the main straight. DRS, this is the first opportunity for DRS around the lap, and good slipstream into turn 1 is always useful. Very fast sequence of corners, section 1, 2, and into the next DRS zone there. Then head on down into the next chicane. This is a very fast little chicane, although it is slightly spread out there in the central section. There we are. Very easy to run over the curbs, and they really can flick you out, but very nicely taken by Jimmy at this moment in time. Obviously purple first sector as setting the initial pace on track today. And as you see, the sausage curbs just on the inside of that corner as well. Certainly one to watch out for in the race. Pro Stevie already retired from the session. Not quite sure what has caused that. It looks around turn 2 there that he has retired from the session. So Pro Stevie won't set a time in this qualifying session this evening. And that is the third of the DRS zones that we've just seen Jimmy come through as we enter the more technical final sector here at Melbourne and Albert Park. Heading out of the final corner, always good to get a good drive and not overdo it. There we are, nice use of the curbs. Back into the DRS, wide open and crossing the line with the initial pace, a 1:22.1 there for the Mercedes driver. Next on track then, I'm Zach, just about to come over the line. What can he do in response then? And the Williams goes second on a 1:22.2, just a couple of hundredths down there. Okay, who else have we got? We've got the pair of McLarens coming over the line. So Kimi over the line first. He is on an outlap, in fact, I do apologise. So we'll catch up a little bit later with these guys. But nice to see both McLarens out there. Again, good points score last week, 8 points for the McLaren team. Your boy Bizen then on a lap at the moment, just about keeping it within track limits there. Nicely done by the Ferrari driver. I don't think we saw the Ferrari driver of your boy Bizen last week, so good to have him back. And purple first sector, unbelievably there. Impressive sector for the Ferrari driver. And invalidated lap, in fact, now at this point, so we'll jump back on board in a little while. Alright then, we've got the Haas just about to start a lap, so we'll catch up with him a little bit later. Who else is out there on a lap then? The next one up will be, in fact, it will be back to Kimi in the McLaren, and his teammate Viper there, also not far behind. So we'll see who sets what in the inter-team battle at the back of the grid at the moment. Again, we keep saying consistency is always a key factor for these laps, and it certainly is. McLaren at the bottom of the table, but last week's consistency saw them double their points, all up to 15 points now in the table. And in the meantime, Zach has just snatched away provisional pole position of 1:21.7 there, so 3/10 clear of our driver's championship leader at this moment in time. And Kachow going just 2.5 tenths slower there on a 1:22.0. So Jimmy now a couple of places down. Casey Jennett a 1:23.5. Both McLarens have now also come over the line. Viper pipping his teammate for this moment in time, and Kimi got to go again to try and find more representative time there. Your boy Bizen then, where are we? A little way out yet, so we'll join on later on. Sean then in the last part of the sector on the medium tyre, trying to go for the strategic option, and to get that little bit of a head start going into the race. All should work well, and maybe track position, if there's an early safety car, could play into Sean's favour there, up to 5th place, a 1:23.9. So good attempt on the medium tyre. I'm sure he'll be able to find a little bit more in those tyres though later on, but he won't want to take too much out, take it away from the race strategy there. Okay, your boy Bizen coming around the final couple of corners. This time he is on a valid lap, so he can set this lap time. What is the initial pace for the Ferrari driver going to be? 1:23.7, and pops him just in front of Sean there into 5th place. Case Jennett has retired from this session as well, just to be noted. He's secured 4th place with the Alpine so far on a 1:23.5, but will not improve, so he may be knocked down by those around improving throughout the remainder of this session. So we'll keep an eye on that and see where he does end up. Right then, let's have a little look. Josh just taking a little bit of a line. He's heading into the pit lane, so not the ideal first lap for him. And Alex Ham, we're just going to see him start his lap now, so we'll ride on board and see what the AlphaTauri drive can do. So fastest first sector there for Alex Ham, as we see him fly through into the second sector. Very clean indeed, and was certainly making the most of the corners. We've got yellow flag in sector 3. I believe that was just one of the McLarens getting out of the way. A slight lift there mid-corner for Alex. I'm sure it won't hinder him too much, but the odd 100th of a second can just tick away. Looks like a good solid lap so far for Alex. We round the penultimate corner and see where this puts him in the fight for pole position this evening. DRS wide open as we run over the line. What's it going to be? It is a 122.5 and sits him into 4th place for this moment in time. A couple of tenths off the battle for pole position at the minute, but a strong first lap on the board there for Alex, and plenty of time to get in the box, get a fresh set of boots on and head back out when he's ready there. Who else have we got on a lap? So we've got KXI on a out lap at the moment. This is Kimi. Now we expect him to box at the end of this lap. He is on 3-lap-old soft tyres. I'd be absolutely shocked to see him go any further. Now, he has found another second on what he initially did. He initially did a 25.3, now on a 24.1, and within a 100th of his teammate. So I'm sure we'll see both McLaren drivers out there again for another lap in this session. KXI then has just started his first crack at a qualification lap and is on the medium tyre. Very nicely feathered through by KXI. KXI currently running around 5th in the Drivers' Championship, and certainly a driver never to be written off on any race. Again, back to consistency, does tend to be one of the more consistent drivers to put in a performance and a good show in the mid points, and you'll see him qualify usually just outside the top 5. Let's see what he can do this evening, and as we say that, goes up to 5th place, a 123.0 on the medium tyre. Absolutely brilliant lap there on the medium tyre considering, and strategy really could play into KXI's hands for the Grand Prix come 7 minutes time. Sector 1, we've got yellow flags. Who is that? That is Zenix Josh there with the yellow. No, it isn't, I do apologise. It is one of the Williams. It is the other Williams. There we go, it was Kachow. Not sure quite to us what's happened. No damage that we can see from the front wing there. So we'll keep an eye on it. As we say that, I'm Zach coming over the line once again. A 121.7 so far. Can he improve? No, he won't on this lap. so I'm sure he's just ramping up to a lap now, so we'll catch up with the Williams driver a little later on. Both Williams drivers then on laps at this moment in time. Your boy Bison has just gone. I'm not quite sure if that actually was purple. I highly doubt that was a purple Sector 2. We know the game has got a bug with giving everyone purple Sector 2s. But we'll catch up with that in a little while. Your boy Bison then rounding the last couple of corners. Can he improve on a 123.7? A couple of tenths will jump him up ahead of the stricken Alpine of Casey. That won't be able to improve. Can he jump ahead of his teammate on a 123.0? No, he can't. 123.3 then. It's both Ferraris 6th and 7th for the time being. Okay, who's next out then? Senix Josh, next one out there. Doesn't look like he's on a lap at this moment in time, in fact. So we'll jump back on board in a little while. I am Zach then. He's on a lap. He didn't quite improve on the last lap. Looked like he might have made a mistake, so we backed off, and this is his next attempt at improving his time at pole position and making himself just a little bit more secure at the top of the times. He certainly does, a 121.339, and that's another 4 tenths quicker than he has achieved so far in the session. Absolutely outstanding lap, 7 tenths quicker than his nearest competitor and his teammate Kachowla. So fantastic lap so far, and not that long left now for anyone to make improvement in this qualifying session for this evening at Albert Park. So 4 minutes left in the session, and nobody on a lap at the minute. We've got Sean on the way out for an out lap, and in fact on the soft tyre this time, so quite interesting that everyone has now switched on to the soft tyres either for their current run or out laps that they are on at this moment in time. KXI's current time that has been registered was set on the medium tyre. It is just that he has a soft set attached to the car at this moment in time for the out lap he is on. I think that is also the same for Sean. 23.9 was registered on the medium tyre compound and not the soft tyres. Right, and let's try and find out where we're at. Zach is on a in-lap at the top of the times there, as is KXI, so we're not too worried at this moment in time. So Sean will be the first one to start a new lap, so we'll just ride on board with the hash drive for the time being, and obviously a 123.9 on the medium tyre. You'd expect him to be pushing the 122 barrier with the fresh set of softs he's got bolted onto the car, so we'll see what he can do in a few moments' time. Those of you watching, anyone who hasn't liked, subscribed, please feel free to do so. Much more content coming this way, and new website in the building as we speak to view and have your say as well. Always look forward to hearing what anyone has to say. Okay, right on board with the hash driver then, and Sean looking to make amends on these soft tyres. What can he do with the tyre difference to the medium compound tyre he has already set a time on? DRS wide open then through the first DRS zone and heading down to turn 3. Nicely taken it. Not quite taking all of the curve available to him there, but nicely taken indeed, and very fast on the power again as we exit turn 4 on the run down to what is effectively turn 6. Turn 5, the little kink in the middle of that last straight there. A lovely fast flowing section of corners. Yellow flags ahead, and it is Zenix Josh just getting well out of the way off the hash driver on his hot lap. And 9 tenths quicker for the hash driver in the first 2 sectors, so he is certainly looking around the 120 high 122s at this moment in time, which is what we've predicted. Let's see him in this fight up the top end of the grid as we come through the winding, twisting section of this track, coming around the penultimate corner now and run it right out to the curb. Nice exit into the final straight. And what is the time going to be? It's certainly going to be a time improvement, a 1:22.2, and takes him up to 4th place for the time being. KXI then not far behind on the next flyer. It's got a 1:23.0 to his name at the minute. Was set on the medium tyre. What can he do on the soft tyre? Is he going to challenge for pole? A 1:21.6 and 3/10 away from pole position. An absolutely stunning lap there. Take KXI just a couple of tenths away and up into 2nd place as we stand with a couple of minutes left on the clock for improvements. We've got Sean out and about. I think he is disqualifying himself. He is. So he will start at the back of the grid. So everyone's going to move up a position. Everyone that was lower than 5th position there. Okay, who is on the lap? Viper is on out lap. The other McLaren is out of qualifying. Not sure what has happened there in the 3rd and final sector of the track. I am Zach also starting a lap. Let me just get on board and work out who is the next car going to come over the line then. It will be the Alpine of Zenix Josh, in fact. So we'll ride on board with the Alpine driver. So 1:22.5 set so far. Oh, and there we are. Mistake from Josh, and he is off the track. Will not have time to improve in this session, and very unlucky there for the Alpine driver. Some luck really hasn't gone his way in recent events that he has been involved in, and sadly not looking to be any better for him on this occasion. Good luck to him in the race this evening. Okay, your boy Bizen then is on a lap. Can he improve his time of 1:23.3 at the moment? Can he get anywhere further up the field? I think he's a little bit too far away to improve. Yeah, and no improvement there from the Ferrari driver, and stayed in 7th place there. Zenix Josh then just coming back around. Viper then on a lap of 1:24.1 is his best so far. Can he do anything on this final lap? And a crash there with the Alpine. The Alpine went to move offline to get out of the way with Viper, and well, okay, that's a little bit strange there, but yeah, the Alpine of Zenix Josh there getting out of the way, pulled over to the right hand side off the racing line. Viper decided it was an idea to follow him out of the way, which is just bizarre to leave the racing line, and yeah, Viper definitely at fault in that particular instance there. These guys all just getting cleared up, and that is the end of qualifying. Certainly a bizarre end to qualifying there, we've just seen, but it is what it is, and from time to time you can get some very odd movements throughout the game. But there we are, final classification of the grid for this evening's Grand Prix. I'm Zach, taking pole position once again in the Williams. A 1:21.3, 3.5 tenths clear of the Ferrari of KXI in 2nd place there. Chow in the other Williams in 3rd place, so brilliant qualification for Williams. Let's see if they can take it through to the race. Alex Hammond 4th. Jimmy, the championship leader, currently in 5th place there. And down at the back of the grid, 2 DSQs and Friendly with no time set. Well, if qualifying's anything to go from, we're certainly in for one heck of a race this evening, and really looking forward to commentating on this Albert Park circuit. So we've just got a couple of moments while the drivers all settle into their cars one last time, get to stretch their fingers out before the start of this Grand Prix, and get to have a look at their strategies. Obviously, top 10 do need to start on the tyres that they qualified on. Those outside the top 10 will get tyre choice for the start of the Grand Prix, and then we will see how the race unfolds. If we have an early safety car, those on the soft tyres, we expect to see dip in pretty early, even if it was at the end of the 1st or 2nd lap, to get off the soft rubber. And strategy here, medium hard is the best strategy for the Albert Park circuit. If not, a soft medium or a soft medium soft strategy would be your 2-stop options for this evening, as we see the drivers take to the formation lap. So not much longer will we see these particular liveries or design of car in Formula 1. For the last time in real life they've hit the track, and I'm sure the new 2022 game, which will be released around July as per standard, will certainly catch up to the new era that begins in March this year. Certainly very, very different indeed in terms of design, and let's see what the designers have come up with. We're all expecting a couple of the top designers such as Adrian Newey to have come up with concepts that are going to blow us away and throw their respective teams into the title fight for 2022, and a new era always springs on a new championship rival, hoping that Ferrari, McLaren can get right back in there, and Aston Martin, with the new facilities that have been built this season, will be able to take the fight there to the front of the field. So it won't be such a two-horse race, but maybe the prancing horse will get back in on the race for the top step this season coming up. There we are, predicted strategies then. Starting on the soft tyre, one stop, soft to hards around lap 11 there, or a soft medium with a stop around lap 8, and then a further stop around lap 16. So drivers just coming around to reform onto the grid for the evening. I'm Zach will be heading the field. Will he be heading the field going into turn 1 as well? Both Williams there will be one in front of the other for the start of this Grand Prix. KXI will be the prancing horse in the middle. Can he get amongst the Williams team for the start of this Grand Prix? Well, we'll see in a couple of moments' time. There we go, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights on, lights out, and away they go. Fairly even start across the grid. Looks like the Aston Martin of Frenzy got a great start down towards the back end there, and the Ferrari goes down the inside and into the lead of the Grand Prix at turn 1. And now these guys fighting it out front. I'm Zach trying to get back alongside and retake the lead of the Grand Prix, and he does so very nicely there. And just watching on board from Chow in the background, Alex Ham making a move from down the inside, a little bit of contact there, but that is racing, and nicely done indeed. Jimmy there already in the mirrors of the Williams driver, and going to be looking for an early move to extend his lead in the championship tonight. And there we go, a virtual safety car, Pro Stevie and Kimmy both out. And I do believe that could have been a clash together, and so we move to a full safety car. So, virtual safety car is removed by the race stewards, and a full safety car has now been released. And for those on the mediums, it is a 2-stop strategy as prediction. However, that is going to be thrown out the window now with this safety car period. And will the majority on tyres, on the soft tyre, go into the pits? I'd certainly expect so. Sean there on the hard tyre then in 9th place, and looking to go long and deep into this Australian Grand Prix, and probably just the one stop onto soft tyres later on he'll be looking at there. Jimmy on the medium tyre will try and go as long as possible as well, and I'm sure he'll be looking to a one stop as well, as will the majority of the field. I haven't seen anyone pit. In fact, the only couple to pit are down the back end. We've got Viper and the McLaren into the pit lane, Aston Martin of Frenzy into the pits, and we've got a wing there going on for the McLaren. So new wing for the McLaren there. Nothing for that, and Casey also a new front wing. So Alpine and McLaren both having front wing changes there, and Frenzy just for a regulated pit stop. So let's have a little look at the winners and losers then from that. I'm Zach still holds the lead after a good tussle with KXI there at the start of the Grand Prix. Alex Ham up 1 place 3rd, and Kachow down 1 at the start of the Grand Prix. Jimmy retains his starting position in 5th place, as does your boy Bison in the second of the 2 Ferraris for this evening. Alpine P7 in the way of ZenX Josh up 6 places. Great start by ZenX Josh. And Sean there following through as well, up 4 places on those hard tyres for the Haas driver. The Aston Martin driver of Frenzy up 2 into P9, and Viper and Katie Jennett at the back of the grid in positions 10th and 11th respectively, after front wing changes in their early pit stop. Just going to check what they have gone on to. So they've both gone on to the medium tyres, those drivers at the back who have stopped. So likelihood is they're all going to have to stop onto another compound of tyre later. Most likely another set of the mediums, if not the softs. But again, safety cars, virtual safety cars later on in this Grand Prix could well dictate what compound of tyre that may be that they switch on to. Hi, Maz. Thanks for checking in again. See if you watching on. A little bit low on numbers tonight. We're fully aware there's a few due to work commitments, so numbers are slightly down on terms of drivers tonight. But we have got our championship contenders in the mix once again, so good to see that. And the safety car will go around for at least one more lap. All cars are together, so we'd expect the safety car in at the end of this next lap then. And looking at the tyres themselves, soft tyre runners, this will extend their first stint a little while, and should be looking around lap 9, lap 10 before we see the soft tyre runners in. Will certainly help them on their strategy, and maybe onto a one stop. They could go to the hard tyre, but the medium, they could drag it out now to the medium window and take a medium tyre around 17-18 laps, and hopefully to take out the back end of the Grand Prix. Frenzy, 5-second time penalty then for collision with Viper under safety car. Both drivers have been awarded that for clipping each other there, so that will be investigated by the DFRL stewards after the Grand Prix, I'm sure. Normally it is a case that you need to give a couple of car lengths to the car in front. You can give a maximum of 10 car lengths. And Viper's just got a little bit close to the Aston Martin driver there. So just waiting for the call from race control to say that the safety car is in this lap. Obviously it won't come out until we hit sector 3, as we're just coming down towards the sector 3 timeline. There we are at race control. Safety car is in this lap just as we enter the first stages of sector 3 then. So very early call from the race stewards for this evening, and we'll ride on board with Alex Ham. We'll keep an eye on the field. Could be battles to and fro this evening, and really is a wide open race for the win the season this evening. If anyone has a bet or would like to say who they think is going to win the race, please do so now in the comments. Be good to see your thoughts. I'm Zach is a renowned winner this season, as is Jimmy, so based on no collisions I think Zach is in a perfect place, but KXI can always spring a surprise for us. Zach takes the pace and he puts the power down. He is away, and we have restarted this Melbourne Grand Prix on lap 4 now of 29, and the Williams driver leading into turn 1. What have we got further down the field? Let's have a little look. All looking very tidy, and one by one through the first couple of corners there, as we look at the Alpine making a little dive down the inside of your boy Bizen, not quite managing to do it, although really trying to hook it up there, and getting a little bit out of shape there, Josh, on the exit, but getting it all back together, and he'll be on the attack once again. Your boy Bizen going extremely wide and using all the runoff area through turn 5 there. A little bit further up then, Kachow just looking to close the gap to the AlphaTauri in front. AlphaTauri in a great position there. No Red Bulls in the race for this evening either, a little bit of a rarity, and no Alfa Romeos. Alfa Romeo topping the constructors table at the minute on 170 points, and the KXI is round and has spun on the exit, and down he goes. Let's see where he rejoins. Is it right at the back? It will be by the looks of it, although Viper there has stopped for a new set of soft tyres now, which is absolutely bizarre. He did have that contact with Frenzy earlier on and has used his 5-second penalty, so we do expect he's gone on to a new set after taking some damage from that incident. Okay then, Frenzy is through on Case Jennett. I'm Zach, a 125.2, taking the fastest lap so far in this Grand Prix. Just 4 laps down so far, and a little bit of a tussle going to be coming on here. Frenzy gets well out on the inside, and Casey, thank you very much, did not need a second invitation. Alpine up and through into P8, and now goes chasing after Sean and Josh. These three used to driving together in multiple leagues, and always good to see a little tussle between friends. Okay, up top then, so Chow is through where KXI has spun, so obviously it's jumped him up into 3rd place where he started, but also closing the gap to Alex Hamno in the AlphaTauri. Can this become a Williams 1-2 this evening? Jimmy PSV also closing the gap behind and closing down on this top 3 here, so certainly a battle to watch for the lead. Casey Jennett just on the back of Sean as well. We're just going to keep an eye on that, but DRS wide open here for Chow in the Williams, and around and down the inside of the AlphaTauri. Nothing the AlphaTauri can do on this occasion, and the Williams now running 1 and 2 in this Grand Prix. Alex Ham also going to come under a little bit of pressure here in the DRS zone from Jimmy, although both drivers will get DRS, we believe. No, not got DRS in fact. DRS only just being enabled for this lap, so it will be the next straight before they get DRS, as we'll see it pop up on the dashboard in a moment. A little bit of traffic there as well, and Jimmy is around. Got distracted by the Williams of I Am Zach there, completely put him off, and that is a safety car for the debris on track. Jimmy really got caught out there, and well, nothing that he could have done, but certainly nothing wrong with what Zach was doing. Looked like he might have had a little bit of an off earlier on. So the Williams of Zach, after a great start to this Grand Prix, down into 3rd place. His teammate Chow up to the lead of this Grand Prix. Alex Ham in 2nd place. I'm Zach in 3rd. Your boy Bizen in the Ferrari up to 4th place. Obviously these guys all yet to stop. Zenix Josh in 5th place now. Casey in the 2nd of the Alpine in 6th. Alpine 5th and 6th at the moment. Casey obviously stopped already onto medium tyres, although we expect him to have a stop later on. Jimmy in 7th place, and we believe he needs a wing change. He certainly does. He hasn't got a wing at all, so there's not going to be much of a change, just the dead end nose, as we will see him peel into the pits in a few moments time. Sean then in 8th place on those hard tyres, and could well be poised to take the lead of this Grand Prix. Majority of cars we expect to head on into the pit lane. We will see as they come around who does head into the pits. Okay, looking at the leaders then. 1, 2, 3, they're all in. Both Williams are going to double stack at the front as well. That means I'm Zach is going to get held in the pit lane, and that really could cost him on his exit. There we are then, as we expected. Sean takes the lead of the Grand Prix. No, he does not. Casey stays out. And looking for the one stop, Casey Jennett in the Alpine then takes the lead of this Grand Prix. Sean up into 2nd place, and this is where their tyre strategies really are playing in. Casey, lap 1, had damage, had to come in and have a tyre change from the softs to the mediums, front wing change, and is now leading this Grand Prix on lap 7 of 29. Anything can happen, only a quarter way into this Grand Prix. Kachow in the leading Williams then is in 3rd place and poised as the interval leader, maybe Casey Jennett, but the real leader on track is Kachow at this moment in time, having his one and only pit stop for this Grand Prix. Hard tyre will certainly last to the end of the Grand Prix. Sean, however, can't take it to the end of the Grand Prix. He does need to pit at some point. Alex Ham then in 4th there, so roughly 2nd on the road we'd expect. On the hard tyre again going to the end. Your boy Bizen onto the mediums, as is Zenix Josh. I'm Zach and KXI there, and Frenzy down in 10th as well, as Jimmy goes for the soft tyre. A little bit of a surprise there. Certainly wouldn't expect it, but certainly going to be looking for a race. He's going to look to get through the field and hope for another safety car later on in this Grand Prix. Whoa, what a race we've had already. We had drama through qualifying and at the closing moments of the qualifying session. Drama at the start of this race. Still just 11 drivers in this Grand Prix. 2 out at the on the first lap, and this is the second safety car period we have had. We have got the McLaren of Viper just 30 seconds down the road, so we expect the safety car to stay out for at least another lap for the McLaren to catch up to the field. So in the meantime, we've got a couple of moments to reflect on the biggest winners and losers as we look around. There you go, KC Jennett up 6 places to lead this Grand Prix on lap 8 as it is now. Sean up 10 places from the back of the field, and Jimmy is out of this Grand Prix. What has happened there? Has he gone into the pits and retired? We're just trying to see what has happened. It is the Mercedes has gone into the pits and retired from this Grand Prix. Absolutely bizarre option there. Expecting him on those soft tyres to be really quite racy. Just 10 drivers left in the Grand Prix then, and McLaren just catching the back of the field now. Alright, in the way of penalties then, both Frenzy and Viper, that penalty earlier on has been cleared as they would have served it in their pit stops, and now when we go racing there are no penalties on the board, so it is all down to strategy here on out. Those that have stopped and gone onto the hard tyres, so Chow, Alex Ham looking to go to the end of this Grand Prix. Medium runners, your boy Bizen, ZX Josh, I'm Zach, KXI and Frenzy on new medium tyres. Can they take those tyres to the end of the race? We don't expect they will, but good opportunity to go on to a racy set of softs later on, or a new fresh set of medium tyres if a safety car allows it at the right time. Safety car is confirmed in at the end of this lap as well. We've also got Sean there on 7-lap old hard tyres from the start of this Grand Prix. He is yet to stop, so he must switch compounder tyre at some point, so I think he'll be waiting for a late safety car, whether that be onto medium or soft compound, depending on any timing of a safety car, VSC, or he might just have to take it and see where he comes out at under racing conditions. And Viper there at the back on a set of soft tyres, so certainly going to have to stop again, probably onto a set of medium tyres later on. But for now, the Alpine driver of Case Jennett takes the pace and will dictate the restart of this of the final corner. He puts the power down and heading up into turn 1, turn 3, and using a bit of ERS there as he heads on down, but Casey got a brilliant start there and has defended very well on the first stages of this safety car restart. A little bit of a change further down, KXI through on I'm Zach, and now KXI trying to get past his teammate of your boy Bizen. So both Ferraris going wheel to wheel here, 6th and 7th on the road as we speak, and nothing he can do at this moment in time. Alex Ham under a little bit of pressure of the Alpine of Zenix Josh from behind, and at the minute he just can't quite get close enough. DRS also disabled now for another 2 laps. It won't be re-enabled until lap 11 due to the safety car being disabled, so for now it is all under race strategy and trying to get the drive off the exits for the overtake as he tried to go down the inside. A fantastic exit there by Zenix Josh, being able to hold the speed through the corner and through on the AlphaTauri driver. Zenix Josh up into P4 as the AlphaTauri looks to try and respond but has nothing to give at this moment in time. Those hard tyres certainly going to be hard to get back past the Alpine there on the medium tyre at this moment in time. KXI now right on the back of the AlphaTauri as well, so the AlphaTauri really could be in a bit of a slide downhill at the minute on down the order on those hard tyres. Are they just not waking up and working for Alex at this moment in time? I see KXI there all over the back, and one slip up, I don't think it's going to be a second invitation needed for KXI. Zenix just running really wide there. Will Alex Ham look to go around the outside? He can't quite do it, but he certainly thinks about it. KXI brought into contention through all of that, and now having to just back out of it before there's an accident. Your boy Bizen there picking up a 3-second time penalty for corner crossing. Zenix Josh again off the road there. I'm Zach getting a time penalty, and Zenix Josh really slow on the rejoin to the track. Alex Ham back through into 4th place. KXI trying to go round the inside, can't quite do it. So it's Josh again, a little bit of a wobble on the exit, and KXI all over the back of the Alpine driver at this moment in time. And down the inside goes I Am Zach. Where did he come from? Absolutely fantastic move by the Williams driver there, and this tussle in the midfield is absolutely brilliant right now to watch. Alex Ham getting away a little bit as well while these guys are tussling in the background. I'm Zach trying to get through on Zenix Josh. KXI trying to follow him through if he can, and you see the brakes there burning on the Williams. DRS now enabled as well. Let's ride on board. Who is going to make the lunge first? No one on this occasion. DRS as they enter the next DRS zone. And Viper into the pits onto the hard tyre as well, looking to go to the end of the Grand Prix now for the McLaren at the back. See if he can go long and get some points out of the race this week as he did last week, although quite a way down the field now. There we are, and it's all just settled down in this little battle for the time being. Are they buying their time now? Zenix Josh just about hanging on to the DRS detection 1 second mark to the AlphaTauri in front. If he can do that, he will be less susceptible to attack from these guys behind. I Am Zach trying to use everything to keep as close as possible, and DRS wide open as well, but just that little bit too far back in a very short little DRS zone. That he is going to look into turn 1 then surely down the main straight for a potential overtake. So it's Josh just outside, and he gets hit from behind by KXI in the Ferrari in the braking zone, and KXI into the pits for a new front wing then. Sector 3 yellow flags. Has that brought a safety car out? It hasn't. Frenzy is released. I Am Zach is released. It was a tap from behind, so hopefully no damage caused there whatsoever. KXI buying his own sorting his own problems there, and not only a front wing change, but your boy Bizen, I don't think he was aware of what was going on, or maybe he was. He's got front wing damage as well there, so both Ferraris need a new front wing, and this really costing them. He hasn't gone for a new front wing in fact, and has got a broken front wing. That is absolutely bizarre. He's going to come out behind Viper and at the back of the field. Your boy Bizen then running around with a broken front wing there. I Am Zach, that is a 3 second time penalty we can see on the screen, and as we say that, Zenix Josh picking up a 3 second time penalty for repeated corner cutting as well. We say corner cutting, it may not be obvious to the naked eye. It could be just running a corner as such, as we just saw, but it is flagged up on the driver's dashboard. DRS for Zenix Josh, and not quite able to do anything about the AlphaTauri for the time being. One of the closest races I've seen for quite some time, considering the number of drivers in this evening. Had some great racing so far, although a little bit queried on that move from KXI and what exactly happened behind there, but hopefully we'll hear from that a little bit later on. DRS then for the Alpine driver, looking into turn 1, but again just a little bit too far back. Case Jennett in the leaders Grand Prix, hit with a 3 second time penalty for multiple warnings of corner cutting, as is Alex Ham. I'm Zach at 125.1, and down goes Zenix Josh, absolutely sends it into turn 4, and through he goes into 4th position for the time being. So I Am Zach has just got past, I would say just got past someone, but he hasn't. His fastest lap was actually in clear air, so it was uninterrupted in fact, so that's quite interesting to see. Now your boy Bizen, is he going to stay out? He isn't. No, he is bailing into the pits to get a new front wing, and mediums to the end I'd expect for the Ferrari driver. So going to have a quick look at the penalties on board. There we are then. So penalties showing up there, 3 seconds all round almost as we seek the race go on. Just at halfway distance almost now, and Case Jennett from a very early pit stop on lap 1, new front wing, has been able to jump up into the Leaders Grand Prix. Kachow in the Williams in P2, just 2.5 seconds behind at this moment in time. Josh takes third place. Alex Ham up to fourth as Sean heads into the pit lane. This should be for a one and only stop, and it certainly is. So hards to the medium tyres. Sean did start on the hard tyre. Where is he going to come out in comparison to the Ferrari KXI? Well, KXI just coming around the penultimate corner now, and the Haas driver should come out well in the lead in that particular battle. And both drivers going to the end of the Grand Prix. So this is now for position. Further down the field, is there anyone we expect to stop? Sector 2, yellow flags as well. Very quickly cleared there. Probably a driver just going a little bit wide, we'd expect. Frenzy had a great race from the back so far, up in 6th place, although we'd expect Frenzy, Zach, Zenix, Josh and Casey all to stop yet again. Kachow and Alex Ham as well on those 7-lap old hard tyres. You would expect to stop onto a fresh set of soft tyres later on in this Grand Prix. So for the top 6 we'd expect a pit stop. For those from Sean down, we would expect them to look to go to the end, and in fact Sean is in the window of those top 3 at the minute for the pit stops. So if Sean has a good couple of outlaps here, he really could be a bit of a pain for those top 3, although he will be on used tyres at the end of the Grand Prix when the others come in and have fresh rubber. Alex Ham there trying to get all over the back of Zenix Josh. Had DRS for a moment there, but decided to deactivate it. And Alex Ham then trying to retake third place at this moment in time. Kachow the only one in the top 3 without a 3-second time penalty, and that was a mistake from Zenix Josh going wide. And Alex Ham, there we are. Again, we say about no need of a second invitation. Well, that was a slight mistake from the Alpine driver, and through goes the AlphaTauri into P3, and it gives him about 2-second buffer as well to Zenix Josh. So got some work to do. It's also pushing him back into Zach in the Williams as well, who is looking for another race victory tonight if he can. But he's got some work to do to catch the likes of his teammate in P2 and Casey in top spot at this moment in time. Although he is going racing, he's going to try and go down the outside of Zenix Josh. He does. Zenix Josh managed to do the late braking manoeuvre and get his position back. There we go, holding it nicely. However, Zach will have DRS here up the main straight as he tries to pick the correct line. There we go, DRS wide open as they exit the final corner. Up the main straight, he's just not quite closing quick enough there on the Alpine driver either, so can't quite make a lunge at this point. And Josh just about holding on to P3. He's having a little bit of wobble there, Josh, on the exit, as again the Williams driver looking to go around the outside, and there's contact for the two drivers, and Zach is out of this Grand Prix. He was right to do so, to move to the outside. I think they both expected to move the same direction at the same time there, and that is Zach. And well, chances of another victory was certainly on the cards today for the Williams driver, but certainly not now, as we see yellow flags in sector 1. No VSC or safety car as it stands at the minute for that car in the gravel at turn 4. Will there be a safety car? I don't think so at this point. We expect it just to be cleared on its own accord, and it has been cleared. Track is green once again. Zenix Josh, has he picked up any damage from that? He has. He's lost his front wing there. So Zenix Josh going to have to bail again. He would have needed another stop anyway. Maybe it's a little bit earlier than he would have wanted, but he is going to be in, and you'd expect onto a medium compound tyre to go to the end of this Grand Prix. Wow, drama all round. So 9 cars left in it. Is this going to mean some pit stops happening? Alex Ham in from second place then to replace those hard tyres. What's he going to go on to? Will it be a fresh set of soft tyres to the end? Can he push the soft tyres that far? No, he's going for the medium. He's going for the safe option, and I think I would do so until around lap 19-20. Around lap 19-20, you'd expect to see softs going onto these cars, but being held a little bit longer there. And Zenix Josh, just to add to his woes this evening, a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, as well as we see him getting his front wing change there. So Kachow and Frenzy then are out in front there. That is your boy Bizen getting lapped by the leader now as well. So not a good day for the Ferrari driver. Just looking on board on penalties then, so Zenix Josh at the back of the grid, bar your boy Bizen, and on 8 seconds of penalties there. And well, he's really got some work to do if he wants to get up through the order. Out of interest, what tyres has he decided to go on? He has also decided to go on the medium compound of tyre at this moment in time. Going to keep an eye on the tyres then, and who is heading in and out of the pit lane. Is Frenzy about ready to switch those medium tyres on for a set of softs, or is he going to try and go a little bit longer? He's looking to stay out for the time being. Casey Jennett then, fresh tyres and now sat in third place. He is poised now for a race victory this evening. Kachow and Frenzy, you would expect to be in the pits sooner than later. 124.7 and fastest lap so far for Casey Jennett there as well. Been a little bit unlucky through the season so far, Casey has, but certainly looks like it is coming together and his way tonight. After what you wouldn't have said that after lap 1, certainly not, but everything seems to be going in his direction at this moment in time, and certainly sitting pretty at this moment in time. I think the last thing he would like now, though, is a safety car. So we'll keep an eye on that. KXI there, getting a 3-second time penalty for repeated corner cutting as well. So just two drivers that have not got penalties at this moment in time, Frenzy and Sean, as we have a yellow in Sector 1. It is the other Alpine, and it is Zenix Josh once again, although he is restarted and underway with no damage that is visible at this moment in time. Right, as for battles on track, there is nothing really going on track at this moment in time. 10 laps left of this Australian Grand Prix, and a very quiet track indeed, with just 9 drivers still out there. 4 out, Prestivi and Kimi in the first lap. Jimmy retiring in the pit lane after a little bit of a woeful performance really from the Drivers' Championship leader at this moment in point. And I am Zach out of the Grand Prix after contact with Zenix Josh up into turn 4 just a couple of laps ago. So question is, how long are these guys going to take their tyres? Got a yellow flag again. It is Zenix Josh, and he has retired from the Grand Prix. Not quite sure what that's for. We're going to ride on board with Kachow and look at the stricken Alpine on the way through. Where is that stricken Alpine? It is just up here somewhere. I can't quite see it on the map anymore. In fact, it has been removed. But I don't know whether that's stricken Alpine or not. But it is a safety car for those that are still in the session. Just 8 drivers left then. And, well, everyone says consistency is key. Just finishing is key. But who is going to be into the pit lane? Kachow into the pits under safety car. This really could work for the Williams driver. And Frenzy, we expect it in the pits as well. Will everyone bolt in for the softs? Will Casey stay out on those medium tyres to the end of the Grand Prix? They are only 3 laps old, but will he look at the soft tyres? And Kachow going on to soft tyres then. Frenzy, what does he go on to? Casey has come into the pits as well. Kachow onto the softs. Casey Jennett, again, you would expect him onto the softs as well. He's onto the fresh set of softs. Yeah, there you go. I was about to say he's onto a medium set of tyres there. So, let's have a look at this. 5-second time penalty for Sean for speeding in the pit lane as well. And if I'm not mistaken, he had one earlier on that he served on his last pit stop. So, very bizarre there for Sean to make that mistake twice. I do apologise if it wasn't him who got the other 5-second penalty earlier, but I think it was. No, apologies, it wasn't Sean, it was Zenix Josh in fact. So Kachow now leads the Grand Prix on a fresh set of soft tyres. Second place, Frenzy in the Aston Martin from the back of the grid, and had a fantastic drive and just stayed out of trouble and pit under every opportunity he could have possibly had up into P2. Casey Jennett in third place, and now not so set for a race victory. He certainly didn't want a safety car, and this is why he's now in traffic that he wouldn't have had. He would have had a clear road after those guys had stopped ahead of him. Sean in P4 then on soft tyre. KXI also on softs in P5. Alex Ham are in P6 as well there. Viper choosing the medium tyre there. Fresh mediums for 7th place. Maybe he didn't have a set of fresh softs available to him. He did do quite a few runs in qualifying, and your boy Bizen then is a lap down and now sat in traffic there in P8. And Sean getting a 3-second time penalty as well under Jimmy. Yes, I can check the penalties for everyone. So penalty rundown then, starting at the top of the grid with Kachow. It is a 3-second time penalty. Frenzy in P2 is the only driver without penalties at this moment in time. Casey Jennett in P3 with 3 seconds time penalties. Sean in 4th place in the Haas with 8 seconds. KXI with 3, as has Alex Ham in 6th, 3 seconds penalties. Viper in 7th place, 3 seconds penalties, and your boy Bizen at the back of the grid, a lap down now with 6 seconds of penalties for the time being. Later on I will also be able to look at the race director, Jimmy, if that is what you're referring to, as well, so I'll be able to see when penalties were applied, what lap and for what reason. That will be at the end of the stream. I will jump into that once the final classification has been shown on screen. Right, so it is now a race to the end. Lap 20 of 29. Hopefully we'll see the track go green at the end of this lap, but it is a long lap here under safety car at Albert Park, so it will be a few minutes before we get going once again. And it would have been nice to see a few more drivers tonight. I know there's a few out with commitments, but absolutely fantastic racing. We have had a few questionable incidents, which I'm sure the league race stewards will look into after this Grand Prix. Looking at the stops, Kachow there on 2 stops, as is Sean. Majority on 3 there, 4 stops for your boy Bizen. Viper on 5 stops in this Grand Prix. Certainly must be testing every style of tyre, every fuel load there is possibly going on there to try and work out what is the best strategy. However, really should have been done in practice for Viper, but I say that last week out he managed a 6th place finish just for pure consistency and finishing the Grand Prix. So McLaren looking set to score good points once again, and I would say close up the gap to 9th place in the Constructors. However, Sean is in 4th and Haas are 9th in the Constructors at the minute, so good point scoring for a couple of the teams further down the Constructors field at this moment in time. Okay then, so Kachow has taken the race lead for the time being, and just wait and see when he goes. He has gone out of the penultimate corner, in fact gone very early indeed, and caught your boy Bizen napping now. The issue with your boy Bizen is that he is now a lapped car, and Frenzy had to wait for him to go across the start finish line before he could pass. So Kachow now 1.7 seconds out in front and counting. Frenzy in P2 under pressure from Casey Jennett as Casey tried to go around the outside. Can he make it stick into turn 4? He can't into turn 4 as they go side by side, but into turn 5 he makes it and goes into 2nd place. Who is that in the background? Sean having a little bit of a spin there. Viper going wheel to wheel with him, and I think Viper just ran out of space there. And what has happened there? KXI into the side of Viper, as Viper had a little bit of a spin due to a contact with Sean, and KXI into the side pod of Viper, and that has taken him out of the Grand Prix. Yellow flag's been shown for that incident where KXI has been very unlucky and just collected. Not much he could have done with the McLaren across the middle, and safety car is deployed once again for the 4th time in this Grand Prix, and now down to 6 drivers. Your boy Bizen at the back there, not quite sure what happened to him. He was a lap car, so he couldn't have been hit because he would have been ghosted there. So quite interested to find out what has caused that DNF there. And absolute madness here for the Australian Grand Prix out park. 6 drivers left in it. And who's that into the pits? It is Sean into the pits. Did he take damage through that? Well, we'll ride on board and see if he does get a front wing. No, he's not getting a front wing. He is just getting a new set of tyres, and he's getting rid of that 5-second penalty. That is what he's doing. He's been very clever about it, in fact. Fresh set of softs to the end. Casey Jennett there. A time penalty for a collision with... Was that with Alex Ham? Not sure exactly what that is in regards to, but that is Casey Jennett up to 13 seconds. And Frenzy is out of this Grand Prix as well. What is going on in this lap? Absolutely mad. So Viper comes around. There you have it, down to 5 drivers with 6 laps of this Grand Prix to go, and I genuinely can't say I've seen a race like it with so few drivers finishing. I'm not entirely sure what happened on that last incident. Sean and Viper definitely went wheel to wheel. Viper span around. I think they were wheel to wheel when he first touched the curb, and Viper then span due to that, which is a racing incident that does happen from time to time. However, usually if a car does spin, that car will instantly go. In this occasion it hasn't, which KXI was banking on. Obviously he can't just drive through a car, so it has taken the Ferrari KXI. I'm not sure what's happened to the Aston Martin of Frenzy there then, but Viper now up into 5th place. He scored 8 points last time out. Well, he's secured, as long as he finishes, a minimum of 10 points tonight, and looking good for the McLaren team. Sean in P4 then in the Haas, Alex Ham in P3 in the AlphaTauri, Case Jennett in the Alpine, apologies, in P2, and Kachow in the Williams, leading the Grand Prix on lap 24 as they cross the line now of 29. There will be 5 more racing laps to go in this Grand Prix. That is if the safety car comes in at the end of this lap, which I'm sure it will do. Everyone on 3 seconds of time penalties, other than Casey Jennett in P2 there in the Alpine on 13 seconds. Now I do think 10 seconds of that is due for appeal as well, so that could be he is racing all even at 3 seconds apiece. But for that we'll have to wait and see after the race. So during the race it will show him as 13 seconds worth of penalties, but 10 seconds of that may be appealed to the driver stewards after the race has concluded this evening. At worst it'll be a 10 points for the evening for Casey Jennett as we stand. Well, I really don't know what to say. This has been an absolutely bizarre race. Contact in the closing parts of qualifying, and as for the race, it's been absolutely brilliant, firm, fair racing up and down the field. Yet then there's been that odd error or two with only 13 drivers starting the Grand Prix and 2 out on lap 1. It's certainly been a very slow going Grand Prix as the safety car is in this lap. Kachow takes the pace once again and see if he can replicate that same fantastic start he made a couple of moments ago. Frenzy was the one who did not react quite quick enough on the last restart due to the lap car of Bizen being in the way. Can Casey Jennett do a better job on the restart and stay with or make an attempt to lunge into turn 1 on the Williams driver? Let's see it through. So we've only got one driver from the 5 constructors left So 1 Williams, 1 Alpine, 1 AlphaTauri, 1 Haas and 1 McLaren. And Kachow there, looks like he's put the foot down. He has, out of the penultimate corner, and Casey Jennett has gone with it. So this time he's not going to get away so easily from the Alpine driver, and he is going to be right on the back of that Williams now. 5 laps of this Grand Prix to go, and we are racing once again. And Casey Jennett has an absolutely fantastic look there. He's looking down into turn 4. Can he do it on the brakes? He's going to go around it down the inside and covers off the exit from Kachow, and he's through, and round goes Alex Ham, trying to take an optimistic lunge down the inside of the Williams there, and did not work out for him. Everyone's got to go for a gap. You're not a racing driver when you stop going for a space, but that was not the time. He should have bought his time a little bit better than that. And Alex Ham down to the back of the field. Viper is loving life in 4th place in the McLaren right now, and fantastic race from him once again, and again just showing that consistency really can be the key to success in Formula 1. Okay then, so Casey Jennett has taken the lead with 13 seconds of time penalties, however. I do apologise for that. But 10 seconds of those time penalties are under question and stewards review after this Grand Prix, so they may be removed, and that would mean they're all on equal terms. So wherever the drivers do finish could well be their representative finishing positions at the end of this Grand Prix. Casey Jennett also going for fastest lap of 1:24.4. Absolutely tremendous lap there, pulling 0.8 of a second to Kachow in P2 for the time being. This is the closest battle on track at this moment in time. Sean 1.5 seconds back from the Williams driver at the moment, and this is now a sprint to the end on the checkered flag at Albert Park Circuit. No DRS, of course, at the minute, but if there were, not a single driver is in DRS of the driver in front, and Casey Jennett, excluding that 10 seconds worth of penalties, which will be looked at after the Grand Prix, is in control of this race now. 1.4 seconds, and he's extending every single sector by a tenth or two to the car behind. Sean there hanging on in 3rd place, but not quite making any inroads as of yet to the Williams driver. Viper in 4th place, but going to be coming under pressure from Alex Ham, as Alex Ham certainly the quicker of the two drivers and making inroads. Casey Jennett 1:23.7, and really getting the pace out there. DRS now enabled. 3 laps left on the board, and can anyone make any amends or inroads on this final lap of this Grand Prix? Kachow just 7/10 behind the race leader now, and Alex Ham 1.6 behind Viper in the McLaren. So these guys are looking for any opportunity they can get in these closing stages here in Australia. This is round 9 of 12, so 3 more Grand Prix after this will conclude the season, and as the championship leader Jimmy was out and retired in the pits earlier on in this race, there will be no change at the top of the leaderboard this evening, but others will close the gap. Williams are in 2nd place in the... No, I do apologise, that is incorrect actually. I was about to say Williams are in 2nd place in the Constructors, but I don't think they are. That was off the top of my head. Alfa Romeo are at the top, however Alfa Romeo, neither driver took part in this evening's race, so they could come under a little bit of pressure in the Constructors in the closing stages of Season 9. But for the time being, we're on board with Alex Ham in the AlphaTauri, fighting for 4th position this evening, and Viper now in sight, just 9/10 away. DRS is not enabled for this particular straight. It certainly will be for the next, well in DRS distance now to the car in front. What other battles have we got on track? None at the minute. Chow has just dropped back a little bit from our race leader as well. So Casey Jennett 1.1 seconds up the road from Kachow in P2 there. So we've ride on board with Alex Ham and looking for a final overtake of this Grand Prix. Final challenge, and Viper, well, he's not going to want to lose that 4th place this evening. He's had an absolutely fantastic drive, but I do think Alex Ham might have the overspeed here and more of a little bit more pace here and the opportunity to take it. Kachow picking up another 3-second time penalty, and that could be crucial. Sean there just 3 seconds behind at the minute and right in that window to take that position. Kachow down to 9/10 behind the race leader. Viper is passed as well by Alex Ham as we see it, and Alex Ham picks up a 3-second time penalty. He's now got to build a 3-second time gap to Viper, or he will drop back behind at the end of this Grand Prix for cutting the corner while overtaking. Now he should technically have to give that position back, but he will get away with it as long as he does build a 3-second time buffer to the McLaren. But it is the final lap of this Grand Prix. Can he find 2.5 seconds on the McLaren? The McLaren has got DRS assistance as well, so this could be Alex Ham may lose that position on the final lap here. Let's join our race leaders then. Casey Jennett out in the lead of this Grand Prix. We expect 10 seconds of this 13 to be removed by race stewards after the Grand Prix, taking him just 3 seconds, which would retain him the lead and victory of this Grand Prix if he can retain it for the last part of this final lap. This evening, Kachow in P2 on 6 seconds time penalties, and Sean 3.5 seconds outside. Can Sean get within 3 seconds? He looks like he is falling away, and Kachow might just about be safe with those extra seconds he did pick up as time penalties there. It looks like our podium will be Casey Jennett, Kachow and Sean. Alex Ham there in P4. 7.8 seconds back, and it looks like he will drop behind Viper as well. Casey Jennett takes the checkered flag. However, Kachow takes race victory on paper before any driver steward inquiries are taken into consideration. Sean takes 2nd place in the Haas, and Casey Jennett there in 3rd. Viper moves up to 4th as we expected, as Alex Ham's penalties dropping back behind the McLaren, and in 5th place. They are the only 5 drivers classified this evening in the race, and well, what a bizarre race we have witnessed tonight. Congratulations to those guys who have finished, and well, that is one of the most bizarre races I've ever had the pleasure of commentating on, and well, I'm hoping it'll be a little bit more settled down next week, and for the final 3 races of the season, hopefully we'll have a few more drivers back with us for the next outing as well. But there you have it, the podium for this evening. Casey Jennett still got 3rd place, even if those positions do not get questioned, and also fastest lap there, a 1:23.7, and there you go, a long list of non-finishers in there from frenzy downwards. Hopefully you've all enjoyed the commentary this evening in terms of pit stops. Wow, there's some extreme pit stops in there. Viper having 6 pit stops in the end. What a race from Viper, up to 4th place on 6 pit stops. That's absolutely outstanding. Thanks, Jimmy, for the vote of confidence there. Really enjoyed that. Viper's a goat. Yeah, to be fair, the McLaren duo in the qualifying sessions are usually towards the back end of the field, but both tend to be quite consistent. Viper last week out went and took what did he get? 6th place last week and 8 points, doubling McLaren's points tally for the year so far. After 8 races, and then tonight getting that is 12 points tonight for Viper, so that is going to take them in contention with the Haas. The Haas to end up scoring as well. So yeah, it certainly could be interesting. But yeah, he has had a fantastic race tonight. I would like to see some footage of what happened when he went wheel to wheel with Sean, which obviously initiated that spin that caused KXI to retire. I don't think it's either driver's fault. I think it's the fact that the game did not ghost Viper's McLaren, and KXI did just go into the side of the McLaren. Not much that the Ferrari driver could have done in that instance, sadly. But thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you next week.